In Russia, a new generation bus has been put into mass production, and this bus is the most unusual among all those produced in the country today. There is no other like it. This is the Citymax 9 bus, created at the Pavlovsk bus plant. The 9 in the title speaks of the overall length. It is just over 9.5 meters. Thus, Citymax 9 refers to the buses of the middle class, and to buses for work primarily in the city. Its design is specially designed for use in urban agglomerations on routes with an average passenger flow. A prototype Citymax 9 was shown at the Contrans exhibition last year. Then this bus with its unusual design made a splash. And now, at the main Russian bus exhibition BW Expo, which took place in late November, the manufacturer presented its serial version in the basic version, designed to carry 77 passengers. What is unusual about Citymax 9? First of all, in the layout. The Citymax 9 does not have doors in the front and rear overhangs, but its wheelbase is unexpectedly large, 5.8 meters. The designers moved the driving and steered axles as far as possible from each other. So much so that between the front and rear wheel arches it was possible to fit not one, as usual, but two wide double doors at once, and even at a considerable distance from each other. At the same time, the turning radius has not increased. It is 8.8 meters, which is even less than that of some similarly sized buses with the classic layout. What gives Citymax 9 such an unusual layout solution? And it gives an area of U200 Bu200 low floor interior space unprecedented for buses of this class, which is as much as 10 square meters. Moreover, this is achieved through the use of not expensive portal, but the most common front and rear axles. It is clear that both doors have a stepless entrance, and on the floor in front of the front door there is also a folding ramp for the arrival of passengers with limited mobility in wheelchairs. Citymax 9 fully complies with the requirements of the Accessible Environment Program. Let's go to the salon. As already mentioned, the entrance is without a single step. Opposite the front door is a storage area. It is also a place for placing a wheelchair or baby carriage. Several seats are also installed in a low floor space, that is, access to them is facilitated, raising the floor only in the rear of the cabin, which is located above the drive axle. But the most interesting thing is that another storage area has been made on the starboard side. If the customer needs more seats, additional seats can be placed on the space of such a storage area. The front part of the bus cabin, where steps also led, is entirely given over to the driver's working area. Behind him, his place is separated from the rest of the cabin by a vertical partition with a transparent upper part, and to the right of him there are two boxes with strong lockable lids. I'll tell you what's under them a little later. The driver's seat is provided with easy access with free passage. The driver sits on a comfortable sprung seat. In his hands is a small multifunctional steering wheel, and in front of his eyes is a modern, neat, stylish dashboard. The door and kneeling control buttons are grouped on the right side of the dashboard. Kneeling is the tilt of the bus body towards the stop to facilitate the entry and exit of passengers. It can be forced or automatic. To the left on the same panel we see the washer for controlling the automatic hydro-mechanical 6-band gearbox. Moreover, it is of Russian production. It is the only automobile hydro-mechanical gearbox mass-produced in Russia. The Russian gearbox is aggregated with the Russian engine. This is a 4-cylinder diesel engine of the OMZ 530 family with a capacity of 214 horsepower, located in the rear overhang. Thanks to the use of the Russian aggregate base, the level of localization of the bus was about 90%. Later, the developers promised the appearance of Citymax 9 modifications with gas and electric engines. Now let's get back to the boxes, the one on the right-hand side of the driver's seat. The smaller box is for his personal belongings, and the larger box is, in fact, an electrical panel. This is the best place to place electrical equipment, since it is maximally protected from the effects of an external aggressive environment and low temperatures. And what else has changed in the design of the Citymax 9 during its transformation from an experimental to a production model? Of the most noticeable differences, the serial bus has side rear-view mirrors in their usual places. They are more familiar to most drivers than the video cameras used on the prototype with image output to the monitor. An important innovation in the cabin is the so-called aircraft lighting. When the upper LED lamps do not shine down, but up, that is, into the ceiling, the reflected light is more pleasant and soft. Thus, with the creation of Citymax 9, a very strong, technically perfect model appeared in the Russian segment of medium-sized city buses. Passengers will appreciate a comfortable and, importantly, spacious cabin with an unusually large low-floor space for this class, and carriers will be satisfied with a significant reduction in the cost of a passenger seat and a decrease in operating costs. In general, the most unusual bus in Russia has been developed, tested and put into production. In 2023, the first such buses will take to the streets of Russian cities.